Hey everyone, this is My Flipped Story by Justin Grover, and you can check out some of my other videos on Grover Math. I'm a high school math teacher, and so I have a video playlist for Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. Let me answer a couple questions about why I flipped my classrooms. First, why and how did you begin to flip your classroom? So basically, I'm going to kind of interview myself on here if that's okay with you. So why? First, let me begin with the why. Why did I flip my classroom? Well, I realized that it was going to give me more learning time. By flipping the class and basically having the students watch videos at home, it allowed me to have more time of practice with them in class. I didn't have to spend so much time talking to them or talking at them, and I could actually spend more time talking with them, and learning with them and teaching with them instead of just lecturing to the mass. And so I had more time with them with the content instead of just telling them about the content. So time was a big increase and a big motivator for me. As a math teacher, especially a high school math teacher, a Regents math teacher, we're always crunched for time. We're always trying to figure out ways to, stretch out the time in our classroom because we have so much material to cover. So time was a big motivating factor for me. More active engagement. Before flipping my classroom, I was a lecture teacher. I tried to entertain them and get them as engaged as I could. But when you're just teaching and telling people how to do things, like right now, you're just watching this video, you're probably a little bored because when you're just told information, it can be a little dull because you're just sitting there watching or listening or taking down notes or whatever it is. But when I flipped my classroom and they did the notes at home and came in and we did the practice, the work in class became alive. They were in their groups and they were talking and collaborating. I had them out of their seats and doing things on boards, and there was just a lot more energy and active learning in the classroom. And that was a big motivation for me as well. More discovery. Again, because I had more time with them in class, I could challenge them more. And so that they were able to discover the next level. More challenge, same thing. And basically more fun. More fun for me and hopefully more fun for the students as well. Like I said, the classroom dynamic dramatically changes when you flip. At least it did for me. And so class was different. I actually put on music now and the kids work in small groups and they're actively, getting their hands dirty with the material and really learning and discovering and kind of, taking it to the next level. I always say my videos kind of take them to level 1, but then their practice in class brings them to the next 2 or 3 levels. And a lot of the time they just figure out that stuff within their groups and learning from each other. And for me, it's fun to see that. And hopefully it's, a little more less boring for them as well. And it's a great tool, and that was a big thing too. I was like, even if I weren't to flip, let me start making videos because when a kid is absent, he can watch the video. Or if a parent wants to help their student, they can watch the video. Or when they're not sure how to study for the test, go rewatch the videos, that type of stuff. So even the process of doing this, you build a great library of videos and it becomes a great tool, a great teaching tool. And so that covers the why, but how did I begin to flip? Start simple. The first thing I did was I started just recording on my smartboard. I actually had a USB microphone with a really long USB cord, and I stood in front of my smartboard holding my microphone and just wrote on the smartboard and talked into the microphone. And I had an empty classroom as I was doing it. I remember people walk by my class and look in and think I was crazy because it looked like I was kind of teaching to an empty classroom. But start simple. However you can make the videos. Right now I'm making this video on a Surface computer where it's got a built-in, stuff. I'm using Screencast-O-Matic and the pen that comes with the Surface, and I'm just talking to the computer right now. So it's easy, but you could do it with a lot of different devices. But start simple. That's how I began. I started simple, made the videos, asked the kids to watch it, and then we practiced the material the next day. And from there, obviously, I've modified it and made improvements, but start simple. All right, next question I'm going to ask myself here. Oh, too far. How has flipping instruction impacted your students from the perspective of both results and engagement and in class? Well, first of all, results, it's a better learning experience. I think, like I said, my classroom is more actively involved. They're collaborating, they're discovering, they're being challenged. So basically, they're learning better. And if they're having a better learning experience, it's no surprise they're going to have better results, and that is true. Less lecturing, more teaching. Again, this goes to the discussion of engagement in class. Again, I wasn't stuck in the front of the classroom lecturing and the kids taking notes. they already did that before they came into the classroom. They did that at home on their own time. So then I was able to, again, challenge them, teach them, get to know them. And it was a class alive, again, that active learning environment. And when they're actively involved, they're awake, they're going to be way more engaged. All right, and I think there's a little bit of a delay here. This is the fun thing about technology, especially when you're this far into the video. Like, oh, there we go. How has flipping impacted you as a teacher? It's a more personal connection. Again, not being stuck in the front of the classroom, I'm able to talk to the kids and really spend time with each student. You know, my groups typically are like 3 or 4 students, sometimes as small as 2. And I got to know my students much more than I did before I flipped. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not great with names. And before I flipped, it would take me weeks before I learned my students' names, just because you get into class and I want to jump right into the material and I just talked to them as a whole. You know, of course, I got to know them over time. But when I flipped, I got to know them by groups, and I immediately learned their names within a day or 2. And I just got to know them on a much more personal level because I got to spend more one-on-one time helping them, but also getting to know them. And I simply feel like it's a more effective teaching tool. And I think hopefully, like, you got from this that, it seems that it creates a better classroom environment. I have more fun teaching, and I think they have more fun learning, especially for a teacher like me who might teach 3 sections, where by like the 3rd section of lecturing, you kind of feel like a robot. You're just, again, saying the same thing over, 3 times a day. They come in and I get to challenge them and talk to them one-on-one. And to me, it's just a much more energetic and alive. And in that, that last line that I had over here, less lecturing, more teaching. To me, that's the core of it, that flipping has allowed me to become a teacher and to teach the individual students and help them in their own way, differentiate, and really kind of give them a one-on-one attention that a lot of them need. And for me, it's a more effective teaching method. All right, that's it. The blank slide here means we are done. Well, thanks for watching. And again, my name is Justin Grover. Grover Math is my YouTube page. And I hope you have a great day. And if you're thinking about flipping, try it. Why not? And I think you're going to end up really liking it. Good luck. See ya.